The homeland of golf, an alien resort, the world's first color photograph, the largest number of castles, and the world's top universities that not everyone knows about. That's Scotland. Scotland is a country which is an autonomous part of the United Kingdom. However, tourists often give preference only to England, ignoring the other countries nearby. They should not though. It takes only 4 hours from London to Edinburgh by high-speed train, so if you're coming to England, you can plan a trip to Scotland as well. It won't take long and the experience will stay with you. Trust me. You definitely know that Scotland occupies the northern part of the island of the UK, but what you don't know is that it has about 790 small islands, most of which are uninhabited. The name of the country comes from the Latin Scoti, which means Gaels, a Sabbatic group of Scottish people. The modern name Scotland appeared in the late Middle Ages. At that time, the inhabitants of the country also began to be called Scots. Golf, one of the most popular sports in Europe, originated here, in Scotland. I'm sure you didn't know this either, and when you drive up to Edinburgh, you can see golf courses all around you. I drove to Edinburgh from Newcastle. Friends, as you may have guessed from the previous videos, I'm now in Newcastle. Newcastle is in the north of England and Newcastle is near Scotland. What does that mean? It means I've already bought tickets to Edinburgh and I've booked a hotel there for a night. I'm going to stay there tonight and tomorrow I'll be back in Newcastle. Well, let's hit the road! I definitely suggest you take the train, the views are spectacular. Scotland is famous for its love of mythical animals. For a long time, the symbol of the country was a unicorn, which represented the freedom-loving spirit of the country's people. Unicorns were depicted on the country's national emblem. Maybe it's the love of Scottish people for wonders which allows the country to meet them more often. Otherwise, why do even the aliens choose Scotland for tourism more often? The country has a village called Bonnybridge, which the locals call a resort for aliens and also a portal to another universe. Every second resident there claims to have seen a UFO, and the village itself once even hosted the Unexplained Phenomena Investigation Society's convention, where alien hunters from around the world gathered. Ghostbusters! The most common place to see UFOs is at Loch Ness Bay in Scotland. Many pictures can be found on the internet. If you're just planning a visit to Scotland and Edinburgh, you're likely to see a beautiful hill overlooking the city in the pictures. But don't be fooled. Here it is, this beautiful hill, and here's a view of the city. This hill here is the main spot. Of course, it's better in good weather and sunny, clear weather. It's the main place where you have to go. The main and first one, because from this hill you have, as I have now, a view over the whole city, and you can directly point where you want to go next. Well, besides there is an observatory here and there is a lot to see as well. If you're coming to the train station, it's just a 5-minute walk away. James Clerk Maxwell, a Scottish physicist and mechanic, created the world's first color photograph in 1861, and it was called the tartan ribbon. Then, Thomas Saturn, who had invented the single-lens reflex camera, at Maxwell's request photographed a ribbon of tartan cloth tied in a knot successively through different filters such as green, red and blue. Then, by illuminating the negative through the same filters, the inventors managed to get a complete projection of the image. By the way, the negatives are still preserved in the Maxwell House Museum in Edinburgh. We go back down the hill into the city and straight into the very center, the very heart of Edinburgh. Here we see this tower. What kind of tower is that? It's 60-meter high, it's not just a construction, it's a monument to Walter Scott. Who is Walter Scott? Walter Scott is considered one of the fathers of British literature, and from here you can get right to the Scottish National Gallery, which is in front of this monument. Scotland is the country with the largest number of castles. To be exact, there are about 3,000. The history of the country has a lot of military conflicts, and that is why up to the 15th century, cities all over the country were fortified with castles. The most famous is Edinburgh Castle. It's located in the center of Edinburgh, right on top of an extinct volcano. Once upon a time, there was also a lake which acted as a protection for one of the walls. Later it was dried up and the new Edinburgh district spread out in its place. St. Margaret's Chapel was also erected here, where Royal Military Band parades take place annually. You'll be surprised, but Scotland also has a large number of excellent beaches where you can spend time and relax. For example, the beach of Camus-Derrick, located on the west coast of the country. It is famous for its silver sands and crystal clear turquoise water. This is where the filming of the movie Local Hero took place. When it comes to higher education in Scotland, local universities are regularly ranked among the top 200 universities in the world by the Times. Edinburgh University is one of the most prestigious in the UK and in the world. And behind me is the medical school, one of the oldest buildings of the university. This is also where the central square of the university is located. In general, the university has a huge number of buildings. Now around 35,000 students are studying at the university, but guys, getting admitted here is of course incredibly difficult and, let's be honest, on the verge of fiction. It is regularly ranked in the top 30 universities in the world in the arts, law, psychology and humanities. This is the place that inspired the creativity of philosopher David Hume and the father of the Sherlock Holmes writer Arthur Conan Doyle. It is also where Dolly the sheep became the first animal to be cloned. The university is ranked 20th in the world by QS World University Rankings 2020. Some of the university's buildings are part of the Old City and are of historical heritage, which is why they have been added to the UNESCO World Heritage List. The university is also part of an elite group of research universities in the UK, the Russell Group. It also offers students the opportunity to study 2 majors at the same time. It offers a dual degree program. Well, this video after all is not about studying, but about traveling. So for anyone interested in education abroad, I'll put a link to Edinburgh University in the description to this video. I've now taken a turn in one of the streets and it really feels like in the Middle Ages here. Look at that, it's just an offshoot of this a passageway between houses from a street called Cockburn Street. Cockburn Street is the main street where the restaurants, cafes, bars, souvenir stores, and it goes from the train station up to the Royal Mile. Now let's talk more about the Scottish capital, Edinburgh. The city is small, it's about 25 times smaller than the capital of Russia, and the city's population is about 500,000 people. There are almost no industrial enterprises, thanks to which the Scottish capital has pretty clean air. There is also a local hachiko. In the cemetery located in the center of Edinburgh, there is a monument to the dog. It was faithful to her owner even after his death and for 14 years guarded his grave. Edinburgh was the first city to be awarded City of Literature status by UNESCO. This was the place where John Rowling wrote the legendary Harry Potter book, and the train station is named after Scott's book Waverley. Edinburgh is also famous for its luxury hotels. It's a crime not to stay here if you have an opportunity. The most expensive hotels in the city are located in the Old Town area. Particular attention is paid to the Scotsman Hotel. A night here is €348 at least, and the rooms are almost always sold out, so you need to book in advance. The hotel, which was favored by Sean Connery and Nelson Mandela, is located on Princess Street and it's called the Waldorf Astoria Edinburgh. Prices start at €575 per night there. Don't tell me I made this episode just for the filthy rich folks. Of course, there are also places with absolutely affordable prices. Well, we are more ordinary people and I stay in a hotel. As usual, it's all about price quality. I paid a little over 4,000 rubles for this room at this hotel, with breakfast included. Hello, Serpukhov. When I participated in Grand Fondo at the bike ride, stayed in Serpukhov, and there I paid for hotel more. Serpukhov, that's a hi for you from Edinburgh. Very nice room, cozy, nice room in Edinburgh, convenient, lots of gimmicks of course. It is small and you can't have parties in here, but it's got everything you need. There is a large plasma TV, you can easily hang all sorts of things and hide your suitcase here if you want. There is a huge amount of charges of all kinds, the view is like this. The windows, it turns out, is small, but it's down to the floor. And new technology. Yeah, I always love new technologies, although maybe they're new for me, but not for you. Here we go. A few types of light. The first one, this is the bathroom light, and you can see it's a dimmed one. This one light bulb is for the hallway. Here's the air conditioning. You can turn it on and off with these arrows. In short, it's all very cool. Let's turn it on. Well, convenient, right off the bat. And hello to you, I just woke up. Sitting in Scottish eateries, you can watch the locals from the windows and take in the culture of the city even more. The most eat dish in Scotland is haggis, but no, it's not the name of diapers, it is the country's national dish made from ram's giblets. The dish is served with a side of nips and tatties, mashed potatoes and rutabaga. And of course, when foreigners think of Scotland, they immediately think of whiskey and men in skirts. This is logical because every country has its own traditions, some of which become even a bit stereotypical. I've not encountered a single man in skirt here, by the way, which cannot be said about whiskey. There are not only bars and stores where you can taste or buy the local drink, but also museums devoted to it. But of course, friends, it's not all about Scotland, and to be sure of that and also to immerse yourself more into the atmosphere and culture of the country, you need to visit it on your own. As the saying goes, seeing is believing. If you want to know more about Scotland and the UK in general, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. There is also a lot of interesting things from the world of travel. I'll tell you about the city of Stirling and about Glasgow. I'm on my second try. I've climbed Calton Hill again, and now finally you can get a bird's eye view of Edinburgh from the top. And of course, don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it.